So next up in the news, the Justice Department apparently is considering merging the DEA and the ATF. And for once, I actually find myself agreeing with Giffords. What is going on? Let's take a look at the article from Associated Press. Quoting from the article, the memo from Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche seeks feedback on a reorganization plan that would combine the DEA and the ATF into a single agency to achieve efficiencies in resources, case deconflation, and regulatory efforts. It's part of a broader push by the Trump administration to shrink and reshape the federal government, according to the article. Now, of course, gun control group Giffords decried the proposal, saying cutting resources from the ATF would literally be defunding the police. Since when did you guys care about defunding the police? And B, no, it would be taking the enforcement and all of the issues that we've had from the war on drugs and turning it into something that's merged with the ATF. I think this is a terrible and bad idea. If the ATF is not going to be outright abolished in some sensible way, along with the removal of the NFA, Gun Control Act, Brady Bill, etc., then we really need to have it be a pared down agency with less power to make rules and decisions. The biggest problem with the ATF is their ability to make arbitrary decisions about what is and is not legal. That should be completely and irrevocably taken away from them. Chevron deference was a good start, but they really need to be told, hey, you can't make up rules. Period. Once that's done, the ATF will be properly defanged. But until such time that happens, the ATF should not be merged with an even larger agency, and one that has just as bad a history of abusing civil rights and causing problems as the ATF, if not in some ways worse. The ATF is already staffed by people who really, truly do not seem to know how firearms function or work. The ATF should honestly be staffed exclusively by people who are engineers and former members of the firearms industry. That should be the people that they're recruiting from, especially for their, special technologies branch or whatever it is, where they do all of their definitions and decisions. I swear, it's people who have no idea how firearms work writing these decisions, and that's one of the reasons why we had all this stupid flip-flop over stuff like firearm or pistol braces. Honestly, this whole thing is just baffling to me and is, unfortunately, an example of Trump's Department of Justice really not knowing what it's doing and tripping over its own 2 feet when it comes to the Second Amendment. For all the good that they're doing in other aspects of the executive branch, Trump's administration has definitely dropped the ball here on this particular issue. They've done good in other areas, but we really do need to make our voices heard and say, no, we don't want the ATF abolished in a nonsensical way, nor merged with an even larger agency to create an even more potentially dangerous behemoth to our Second Amendment rights. But what do you guys think? Do you support the potential merger of the DEA and the ATF? Or do you fall closer to the camp that I'm in, where it just sounds like a really bad idea? Let me know in the comments below. But that wraps up this section. Let's move on to our next topic.